more intellectual than I am. And not even that, let's just have an intellectual conversation. One thing I was given is the game, and you know that. But I know that's hard to talk. Yeah, it's hard to come by a bunch of people because they know I really come from that. Joe, you just want to move on to somebody else?
No, man, I'm just here listening.
Well, I like to talk
Ain't
about the
that
prison
ain't,
system.
ain't that much to listen to, my brother? It's just us having a conversation. And it's a light conversation because we ain't talking about shit.
Well, then you want to start a conversation? Why don't you ask Joe something? Y'all can ping pong off each other.
No, I was asking him. He the interviewee. I ain't never did no podcast and got to talking about niggas. He did that though. I was
I mean,
challenging
it's
him.
not.
I was challenging him to do that to me.
Jay, you low key can have your own podcast though,
That's
because
cool. I know
you
what I know
real.
what I'm capable of. I'm
You've
talking about
been
what he.
podcasting all
I know.
night,
I
for
know
real.
what he. I know what he already did. I know what's transpired already. Therefore, I want to see if he can reciprocate that same energy to me because I know what he's done to others already. I want to see him reciprocate that same energy to me.
Junior answered all his boy questions.
And what if he can't give you that same shit?
Shit, tell him to say that, and we can keep on moving. He can move on and ask somebody else a question. I know how he like to, yeah, go with this wiggle on other niggas. Go with this wiggle on me.
So this is the question game in here.
This is the what?
So y'all were playing the question game in here?
Nah, it's your question game in here.
I don't have any questions.
All this shit started based upon you.
Oh, I don't have any questions.
The question is, do you have a question to ask Junior?
No.
Because I see that you reciprocate negative energy to certain individuals. I wanted to see if you can reciprocate that energy to me, and we just can have an intellectual conversation. You talk to a bunch of dummies, and I don't want to discredit any niggas, but you talk to a bunch of niggas who don't know how to speak and can't articulate themselves in the right manner to deliver the right message. But can you do that with a man who can decipher himself in the proper manner? Can you have a conversation with a guy whom can exemplify himself in the way he need to be exemplified instead of the manner that you try to portray him?
Jay, I can have any conversation with any man.
Then have a conversation with me.
I do not think that I run around spewing negativity the way that it sounds like you think. I don't think that at all, actually.
Okay, I understand. I understand your message then. But you know what you've done. You brought people in your room that you had a problem with and you had something bad to say about. And you spoken on what you had bad to say about them while they were in your presence. I don't know if you would have did that in real life. You might have. You might not have. I don't
Jay,
know.
when you say my room, you mean on Clubhouse?
I don't give a fuck about no Clubhouse. Clubhouse ain't got shit to do with nothing. We talking about real life. We talking about podcast and all this other shit. We ain't talking about no Clubhouse. Clubhouse ain't shit. I just got on here.
Breakfast Club.
I just got on here 4 days ago. Like, this shit don't mean nothing to me. Now I understand it's becoming a big platform, but this shit don't mean nothing to me. What I'm asking you is the same energy that you transpire the people that come on your podcast and different channels that you have leverage on, that you are, yeah, that on.
Jay, I don't interview people on my podcast.
Yeah, you don't interview them, but you got a bunch to say about them.
Well,
You'll
yeah,
tell
that's
you'll
a
tell somebody
podcast.
when you don't like them. You'll tell. Man, I done watched enough of them, Joe. I don't watch enough of them. I done seen you disrespect a bunch of guys, rightfully so or unrightfully so. You did. I don't know if y'all had personal issues before they got on your shit. I have no idea. I just know what's transpired. I know what you did when they got there. I know what you did when they got there. So I don't know if it was for personal means or podcast means, whatever. You do what I'm saying? I don't know which one it was for. I just know it transpired. And you had to let it be known that it was this and it was that when ain't nobody bring you that energy. Ain't nobody bring that energy to you initially. But you had to let it be known at that time that you brought the energy to them.
What time frame is this?
You said what time frame?
Yeah, because it sounds like you speaking about something specific, and I don't know.
Nah, I'm speaking on a bunch of different situations. And there's a bunch of people in here that can tell you that. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
You just talk a lot of shit.
I know a million of them. Like you say, we watch this shit all the time. Like old girl said, Migos.
Migos, the Yachty interview was pretty bad. You kind of with the whole what's it called? The 360 deal shit that you put on them. Yeah.
Nah,
Joe, I got a
speaking
question
on
for
other
you.
ones, it's a bunch of them. Yeah, go
Y'all
ahead,
feel
speak
like
some other
that
ones.
was bad?
It wasn't bad, but you definitely challenged him in a way where you could tell he wasn't ready for it. And yeah, Yachty's a little younger,
And this,
but it's
and
just
this,
like your maturity that he wasn't ready for. He wasn't ready for the questions that you asked. He wasn't ready for the
Joe,
pressure that you applied.
you be pressing niggas that ain't ready to be pressed. And
You
then
guys are in the
you let it
same
be known that you
experience.
got situations with guys they ain't even know they had a situation with you, but you just stand on it.
Nah, I don't think that's
Like,
my energy. Yachty,
I'm telling you what's transpired. You might not think that's what you displaying, but we telling you what you displaying.
Well, I wouldn't say it's displayed like that, but it's definitely like from
That's
a
cool.
more like a
That's just your
wiser.
perspective. Let everybody else speak too, because there's a bunch of other people that can say some other shit.
Hey,
I just
Junior,
want to know what made you get what
Junior,
made you get
I
into
ain't gonna lie.
business. Of,
He ain't did nothing like on his podcast. I listened to him. He ain't did nothing but show respect to all the vibes. So I don't know.
I understand your perspective. I've been told you to exit the building.
Damn.
that is my perspective too, though. And I think if we speak to Lil Yachty or any of the people that y'all think that type of interview went that way, like today, Yachty would say he appreciates that. He appreciated that back
You
then.
gotta think about all the people that you told I don't like you. I don't
all
like
publicity and good publicity.
I ain't fucking with your music. Like you know, you understand how many times you done said this shit on multiple occasions.
So why not send that
I don't,
nigga some
yeah, but I
music?
don't, I don't think that's personal.
I mean,
So you went picking it.
if you invite somebody to your platform and then disrespect them, it's personal.
So you went
Complex wasn't
picking
his
and takeoff,
platform.
bro.
The fuck?
So
I
you
mean
went
that
picking and
because you know
takeoff
who
in the
coming
interview.
and you know you don't like them already. So regardless of if somebody else line that platform up, you know what's transpiring with that platform.
You know, I'm only talking about this Yachty interview because that's the one that stands out in this type of
I mean,
conversation.
it's all good. Don't worry about it. I ain't worried about it.
And that was my
Yeah,
very first interview, by the way.
Hey Joe, publicity sells, man. We know that.
But guess what, Mom? You
What's
know
up,
I'm a
Mom?
nigga. You know I'm a nigga that ain't looking for no publicity because I don't get
Exactly.
paid for it.
Exactly.
So this shit don't
We
mean
just
nothing to
looking
me.
for a response.
You know it don't mean nothing to me. I just want somebody to tell me how they feel and be real about it and stand on it. I don't care about none of that publicity shit. This shit don't mean nothing to me. That's for everybody else, for the birds. So we let them stand on that or not stand on it. Joe,
I
it's all good.
I know why I
Yeah.
used to pick on them kids at school about their shoes because everybody else did. They thought it was funny. Joe, that ain't why you pick at these artists sometimes.
Nah, man. I don't look at it as picking on artists. I don't. I look at
We
it as,
fans of your shit.
I look at it as outside of critique and just giving information and funneling information that wasn't readily available to me when I came in.
It's a lot of ways to do that.
Yeah, I understand that perspective, Joe. Like I understand it
It's not.
wholeheartedly.
It's never to disrespect niggas. It's certain shit I won't even touch on my platform. Like I run my shit very differently than how hip hop media is ran. Like it's not to play with niggas. It's not. And I don't have people on my platform, my podcast, that I wouldn't fuck with in real life or have a conversation with in real life.
My
I'm
nigga,
not in,
you done disrespected a bunch of niggas on your platform though. I done watched it.
but I'm saying that I don't think talking about a nigga's music negatively is disrespecting them personally.
You ain't had to bring me to your platform to do that. So it is negatively when you try to put me on the forefront to do so. You could have called my phone and gave me constructive criticism rather than put me on the internet for everybody to see this. It's a difference. And you an older nigga, so you should know that. You should know that you could call the little homies and let them know, hey man, this ain't what's transpiring, rather than trying to put them on a platform where everybody can hear it for you to give your message. You could have gave them a message in 100 different other ways. I guess I'm talking to myself now, right?
Nah, yo, that kind of makes sense what you saying though.
No, nigga, it do make sense. How you gonna say it kind of do?
Kind of makes sense, but at the
How
same
you gonna
token,
say it kind?
but
Man,
look,
hey,
but
man.
Junior,
Hey,
he media though. So he got to talk about things that drop. You feel me?
That's cool. He media. Be
But he know
media
where
the
he
right
come
way.
from, so he got to be held accountable.
Be media the right way. Why the fuck you feel like you need to speak on everything that I say for him?
Not really. I'm just having a conversation.
That's cool. We can have a conversation. Just chill though. You ain't gotta respond to everything I say though, because that's what you've been doing. Let him speak for himself.
Yeah, no, I never looked at it that way, to be honest with you.
What other way is it to look at it though, Joe?
Like I just said, running the podcast and critiquing music without it being a personal shot at nobody that you're critiquing.
But you gotta understand that nigga, everybody got emotions and everybody got feelings, right? Because everybody man. So if you want to criticize me in public, why you can't criticize me in private?
Nah.
No,
I criticize my friends and the people I love and care about in private and in public. Like, that's a courtesy. Are you saying
I ain't never heard you criticize your wife in public. That's somebody you care about. You criticize her in public, and that's no disrespect.
I'm not married? Are you talking about my son's mom?
I'm talking about your girlfriend and anybody else. I never heard you criticize them in public other than on TV where you got recognition for that too.
I have a long time ago when I was a little immature. I tend not to move that way at 40.
Exactly. So I'm saying, why are you moving like that with youngsters? Because we older. Why are you moving like that with youngsters?
My stance is I don't.
My stance is that you do. You won't criticize somebody that you can give constructive criticism behind closed doors where it might actually be a positive influence in their life. You rather give it to them in public and it be a negative influence in their life. And then you gotta deal with what you gotta deal with, and they gotta deal with what they gotta deal with. Now it's a problem. Now you created an animosity that it didn't need to be created because you could have said the same thing that you said in public behind closed doors, and they would have gave them more meaning. So therefore, if you want to give your audience meaning, if you want to really be beneficial to your audience, if you really want to give your audience direction, then you'll understand that if you give them that in a different platform and then have a different conversation with them on another platform, that you'll get way further than what it is that you're getting based upon trying to belittle somebody publicly.
But Jay, I speak to mad of these young niggas off platform personally. Advice, kick it with them. Like, that happens.
I mean, that's the guys that we don't know about though. We talking about the ones that we do. So you might talk to a bunch of niggas the same way I could say I talk to a bunch of niggas, but don't nobody know the niggas I'm talking to. When we have an opportunity to talk to influencers though, the guys that actually have a chance of coming up, the guys that are in position or have been in position to come up, let's give them constructive criticism rather than belittling them and making them something less than they are. Let's give them the criticism they need behind closed doors. And then when we had these interviews, let's give them the criticism that they need.
I agree with that.
You do shit to be funny. You do shit to get views.
Jay,
That's
I'm
what
the
you
last.
do. Listen to me. Listen to me.
Media person that does.
Man, that's
things
cool,
for
but
views.
you do shit for views, and I don't respect that.
Jay, I can assure you, I don't do shit
to
for
get
views.
you do shit to get views. You speak on certain contexts and you speak on certain situations so people can laugh at certain people, and certain people can feel discredited about whatever it is that they're doing based upon what you said. Well, you could have had the same conversation with this youngster behind closed doors and uplifted him, and then came back and got the same notoriety that you wanted from downplaying him that you could have got right here on your show.
Jay, I don't do shit for views, and I don't downplay niggas to get up.
Hey Joe, I don't want to disrespect you. and I don't want you to disrespect me because you ain't never disrespect none. You ain't never took it there with none of them young niggas, so I don't expect you to take it there with me. You did, but this is the thing, nigga. You done a lot to discredit people and say what you had to say about certain artists and shit like that.
I think he's just a very honest person. He's just a blunt person.
Nigga, this shit don't matter. We all blatant, blunt, and honest. That's what we are. That's what we stand on. We all that. Tell him to tell you that he don't think I'm that. We both that. It's a time and a place for everything. I never take my blatancy and my honesty to try to uplift myself based upon another nigga's transgression. He capitalized off people bullshit. He'll say that he feel like this, and that about a nigga. Well, he ain't got to say that. He could have went and whispered in this young nigga ear because he an older nigga. You know what I'm saying? That has respect in the game. The same thing that he said. Well, nah, he ain't the same thing. He could have whispered something else in this young guy ear on this podcast or anything else, and it would have had a lot more understanding and him creating beef by saying some bullshit and what he said in this podcast. He could have put that nigga to the side and gave him some game. The same way we do. He could have put him to the side, whispered in his ear and be like, hey, nigga, you can do this. Instead of going on here, man, I don't like your music. Now tell a nigga how he can progress. Tell somebody how they can be better. Tell them if they do this, you feel like they can make more money for their family. Coming this motherfucker and telling somebody ain't create no drama. He just ain't created drama with the right people. That's all.
I got a question for Joe.